you all said when you were in the earlier meeting that you wanted to have an opportunity to discuss the rescue squad application. Do you want to set a special meeting? Do you want to have it at your next work session, which I could pull up the calendar, but I think it's going to be like the 19th of September.
That's gonna put us close to the next meeting.
That's the 30 days.
Next meeting's the 12th.
Right, but the work session.
Fourth, if we do it on a Tuesday, that'd be fourth, and that'd be the wrong day
The
to have,
fifth.
because it has to be on the fifth.
Well, the first Tuesday of
That's
the
right,
month would be the
Tuesday.
5th, the day after Labor Day, if you wanted to do it then. Or if you wanted to do something next week, that's really up to you all in terms of your schedule.
I'd like to make sure that they all, if we're gonna have a joint meeting with the planning commission, if they're all gonna be there. I mean, just one or two, I wanna know what all of them's got.
So if we waited till the 5th, gives us 2 weeks from the day to set it up. It's basically the work session is you.
I would think the 5th would be the
That gives us 2 weeks to contact anybody that wanted to show up and voice their
So
opinion.
your idea would be to invite the planning commission to participate in a discussion.
And the rescue
Yeah.
squad? All parties or just one?
Well, we need to, I don't really have a, other than the little sketch that we saw, I don't have a good idea of what they plan on doing. I mean, I don't have a visual image. I see a layout of ground, I don't know how much ground, I haven't seen anything about what the building's supposed to look like. Is it gonna impact the neighborhood? Are we gonna have to, do a whole bunch of stuff before they can,
No, the town doesn't do anything.
yeah, I mean,
It's gonna be an expense to the town.
So you would want to,
yeah, that's nothing, that's
yeah,
just
so
flat.
you'd want the rescue squad to bring any and all materials that would help you to better understand what their proposal really is.
Do they have a rendering
Absolutely.
of the outside of the building?
That's what I was talking
Because
about.
everybody was talking about this big steel building.
He
and-
did at the planning commission level say that it was gonna be a steel building. And I don't think he understood your question tonight, which is why I kind of weighed in and said they need to know about what your new building is. He seemed to spend most of the time talking about the condition of the existing building as opposed to letting you know. And you all are absolutely right. The only thing you have, and I sent that in your packet, was the rendering that they provided after the first planning commission meeting. But the planning commission did in fact have that for their next discussion, and they had a full presentation of the details of their plan.
See, I went to both meetings and I never saw that at all.
No, it was provided to me to send out to the planning commission 2 or 3 days after their first
And
meeting.
he's being honest, the rescue squad ought to have this and what they plan on doing, like maybe a slides or, to let the public know what they're doing. I think it would help a lot up there because I went to both planning commission things and there was just 3 people that complained about it. I've had some Facebook page, my cancel Facebook page thing comments, and most of them didn't live on that street.
Well, I think that's what Diana said about her 12, that they were not people that lived on the street.
I think the neighborhood's concerned about the looks of the place, and I think they have a right to be concerned about the
And
appearance.
safety.
I think-
Well, and safety, that's why I mentioned
The
about
questions I
that.
have is how much distance from their property line where the Strauss-Ball's land is located, how much distance is from that property line to where this building's gonna be, and how far is the setback, the actual building? I mean, they've got all this thing drawn up here, but there's no numbers on that
No, that's,
diagram at all as to there's not even a scale there that I could find.
when I first looked at that, I thought, okay, that's all really fine and dandy, but there's nothing else there to tell us what we're dealing with.
Because I had to
There
go
is
up
a
there,
scale. There's a key right there.
I had to go up there and look, at the site and just stand there, measure, so I had a little ruler with me and see how much lookout they had, how many feet.
Yeah.
I'd go right ahead and bring it to y'all tonight, but I didn't have a chance. I was sitting in traffic 3 hours.
I mean, they would like to move fast, but if you move fast, you end up with an ugly looking tin building versus something that's decent.
Well, they've been thinking about this for a long time. I can
Sure.
understand why they want to see.
I know that they haven't involved us for it.
And they may have to move a little quickly for another site. They may have plans for
That's
another
true, too.
site.
Well, that was another thing that kind of disturbed me. They have this undisturbed area for future growth. And I think it would be more palatable if this building that you're talking about was set back possibly as much as another 50 to 100 feet to the back of this lot, away from the front of this, away from the street. It wouldn't be that as visible there as it would be.
Dave, I'm correct that with a conditional use permit, as with rezoning, the applicant can proffer certain conditions about the location
Right,
on the
you
site
could-
and those very kinds of
You
things.
can ask for things
Yeah.
and they can,
And they can agree or
Right.
disagree and make it a part of the conditions. Which is why I wanted to say, regardless of what happens on that property or the property that people are saying is going to be housing, all of those are going to have a review, a site plan review. There are buffer requirements, so it's not as though, there aren't going to be trees required, whether they exist today or not, in order to avoid some of the appearance of whatever the adjacent property is, because there are people in subdivisions that suddenly want to put up a dozen trees because they don't want to see their neighbor's house, and that can certainly be a part of all of that. So it seems to me what you all are suggesting is that the rescue squad needs to be prepared to make a full and almost exhaustive presentation about what their plans are, specifically on that site, details about the building, if there are exterior drawings available, to bring those. You want the planning commission to be present
Yeah,
as well.
at least a representation, so
For what purpose?
if they've accumulated information regarding this, that we probably need to know that too, other than what Diana just said tonight. The official,
There's a report.
is that all in there, their official
And have some of that.
presentation?
You have the minutes of their meeting and their discussion. I guess there are all kinds of options. Hearing that time is of the essence doesn't really make this very palatable, but there are occasions where councils might return a matter to the planning commission and ask for a reconsideration. And certainly, if new information came up, that might be an option that you all would want to consider. But if the planning commission has made their recommendation, you may or may not need them at the table. It seems to me what you all are looking for is more information from the rescue squad about their project,
Is this
not
fair to the
necessarily more
community? That's
information
what-
from the planning commission.
Personally, I'm thinking, is this fair to the community? And without knowing what we're looking at, I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you whether that's fair to the
But you hit the
community.
nail on the head, what I would, because I think if they change some things or whatever, send it back to the planning commission, they may be okay with it.
But again, hearing that the rescue squad wants to move forward quickly, sending it back to the planning commission just is going to elongate the process. And yet I agree with you that sometimes you can move too fast and not get the best decision. But if,
Or is there other properties for them to entertain?
They did talk about that.
I mean, they said there's only two, and that would be one,
And
and
that's in the
I
town.
can't believe that's all there is.
In the town.
In town. The other one would be out on Locust Street.
But in the minutes, the planning commission brought up several other locations in town.
none of which I think are of sufficient size.
No, the one, they're talking about the lot up there on Ridgeway Street, at 4th Street corner, Ridgeway and 4th. But that lot, I don't think is large,
The
it's
tent
not
city?
here. Huh?
Tent City?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Charles
City,
Town
yeah.
Corner.
That was one of them, and the church's lot was another.
I wondered about that one. Is that too small?
And the
Yeah.
Coke.
Too small.
Yeah, for what they want. Well, you look at the size of the building you're talking about putting up there, my God, what is it, 170 feet wide?
Long,
I mean, well,
yeah.
Well, when I-
170 by
is
50.
it long or wide?
I thought it was 170 long. 70,
150 long, 150 this, if you count that
Yeah.
part, 150
and
that.
70 wide.
Well, when I read this, and I've read that the planning commission voted 5-0 against them doing it, and we appoint the planning commission, we do. I mean, I think if we're not going to take and respect their decisions, I think that's not very good on our behalf. Why would anybody want to be on a commission that you're going to overrule if it doesn't go the way you want it to go? I'd like to know why the planning commission voted against it. What's the main reason why?
Well, it seemed like it
Because
they
enough
gave you
people
about
up
14
there got
reasons
in
not.
their ears?
They gave 4 reasons.
Okay, but I mean, and then if we're gonna respect those reasons, then we ought to vote no. That's my attitude toward it right now, unless somebody changes it. I've got no problem with it being there, but we appointed the planning commission.
Well, they spelled out pretty succinctly why they were against it. Citizens' objections, the comprehensive plan says new housing, that's a place for new housing. The safety issues were the main concerns, and then Mr. and Mrs. Strasburg.
She said 4 and I didn't give it 3. I don't know where the 4.
Well, she talked about their land, and then the fact that their blinds, that all work in with the safety issues, the blind spots.
That's, you know, that's where
Ingles,
something,
Chestnut, and Oak.
that's something I'd like to ask the planning commission, you know, the objection of the citizens. Just 3 showed up. Did they hear more from out on the street, email or whatever? I don't know. Plans for the housing, this housing development is iffy, the way he's put it to us. I mean, hopefully, I want to put a plan,
Well, I talked, it's been years ago.
safety on
I
that
had,
street.
I had
I just don't
discussed
get
with John
that.
Strasball about that property up there a long time ago, when I was still racing team.
If you can run a squad on commercial, you can run a squad here just as safe. That road is almost double the size of commercial.
True.